This is Admiralty Station. Admiralty is a mass transit railway station in Admiralty, located in Admiralty, Hong Kong, which is somewhere inside the local CBD. The station's livery is blue and white, served by the largest amount of lines of any MTR stations, with 4 lines, including the Tsuen Wan Line, Island Line, South Island Line, and the East Rail Line. Admiralty is the major interchange station within the MTR network. The station and surrounding area are named after HMS Tamar, once the headquarters of the Royal Navy in Hong Kong. It was built on the former site of the naval dockyards, which were built in 1878 and demolished in the 1970s. The Chinese name of the station, which directly translates to gold clock, refers to a clock with gold-colored numerals and hands that was located on the main building of Wellington Barracks from 1890 to 1962. Between 2011 and 2016, the station underwent major expansion to accommodate 2 new sets of platforms for South Island Line and East Rail Line respectively. The South Island Line opened in 2016, while the East Rail Line opened in 2022. The government gave the Mass Transit Railway Company first refusal on the 60 square feet, which equals to 5,600 meters square site, which was sold to it in 1976 for around 200 million Hong Kong dollars for cash and equity considerations. The Admiralty Centre, United Centre, which is right there, and this is the Admiralty Centre, and Queensway Plaza commercial buildings form part of the development and sit above the station, which the station is underground, so it's right below here. Here we are actually at Drake Street and at Rodney Street, which for Admiralty Station there are a total of, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 4 bus terminus. Yes, there are 4 bus terminus for... I need to walk back over though. There are 4 bus terminus for Admiralty Station, which the first one is right here, called Admiralty Rodney Street Bus Terminus, which only serves by 789 of CTB. Inside, there's a major bus terminus inside here, which is a bigger one, which is called Admiralty East Bus Terminus, which are served by many other routes that either go across the harbour or stay in Hong Kong Island, which we're walking over now. Here is Admiralty Station East Bus Terminus, with cross-harbour routes and other routes that actually serves inside the Hong Kong Island system, with Admiralty West directly behind Admiralty East Bus Terminus across the road, and with an extra one called Admiralty Tamar Street, which is served by route number 12. Now it's time to enter the station. Into the station, and you can see how big this station is. This is the biggest station here in Hong Kong, with the updated electronic panels showing the trains right on top of the concourse after East Rail Line opened. Very useful, with a lot of shops inside the station. First, we'll take a look at all of the exits and where does it go. Here's the exit descriptions, which I just came in from United Centre, exit D. We've looked at exit E. Exit F is just for Admiralty Car Park and Pacific Place, which is the main spot here in Admiralty. For the other side, we have it across the road, which connects with Admiralty Centre, Drake Street, which also can walk to the Peak Tram Central Terminus, with Queensway Plaza for exit C. This is how it looks like for the outside areas, and later on we'll head inside. Well, there's the eye center for you to charge things, but you need to use your own chargers. But the biggest problem right here is the system they set it up, which is pretty bad, because this side are all for exit and that side are all for entry. Which is pretty dumb because now I actually need to walk around and I can't actually just enter from here. I need to walk over that way. On 12th of February 1980, the segment of the first MTR line between Central and Chimsha was opened. Right there, Chimsha to Central, first section. At that time, Admiralty and Central stations were the only two MTR stations on Hong Kong Island. The platforms began serving the TransWa line on 10th of May 1982. Which, this is the platform where we're on right now, towards Central direction. Admiralty was designed to be a transfer station with the then planned Island Line. On May 31st, 1985, the first phase of the Island Line between Admiralty and Chai Wan opened, which is basically from here all the way to Chai Wan, which is also the same old section. With Admiralty, the temporary western terminus of the Island Line. To facilitate cross-platform interchange, the Chin Wan and Chai Wan bound platforms were located on a very wide island platform on the lower level, while the central bound and termination platforms shared another wide island platform on the upper level. Now they have actually switched to the system where they actually have central right here, then you can walk across and change to Chai Wan right away. While on the bottom floor, you can actually have the island line, you can walk across to change the Chin Wan line back to Kowloon direction. To facilitate, when the second part of the island line opened in 1986, which extends to Sheung Wan, the termination platform then became the Sheung Wan bound platform, while the other platforms remained unchanged. But with West Island Line extension, trains now goes to Kennedy Town instead of Sheung Wan. Walk down to level 3 underground, we have the Kennedy Town and Chin Wan platforms, where when trains come back from Chai Wan all the way here, you can just walk across to that side. Which during rush hours, basically the whole path right here will be packed. Yes, so that's why. That's all for the old Admiralty Station. Now let's go down to the new Admiralty sections. Quick example, these guys are getting off. Walk over here, trains to Chin Wan is coming in. That's how you actually facilitate the cross-platform interchange. All these guys walked over and train to Chin Wan right there. So that's where the cross-platform interchange is working out like this. Made it down to level 4 underground. This is part of the new parts of Admiralty Station, which they have expanded. But this floor is only for transferring trains. There's nothing here. So you just keep walking and you're going to reach the lower platforms. Admiralty Station was expanded to serve 2 additional lines. The South Island Line on level 6 underground and East Rail Line on level 5 underground. A new single-level underground interchange concourse with natural light was built to the east of the original concourse, allowing passengers to transfer to the new lines. The atrium was also expanded. The station expansion located under Harcourt Garden incorporates 34 escalators and 5 lifts to integrate with the existing stations, where the direct escalator up to the concourse is right here. Let's see how huge this thing is. Wait, that's actually pretty short. Anyways, the East Rail Line takes up 1 whole level, which is right here. You see the platforms for East Rail Line? Under the interchange concourse, with the South Island Line directly below it. while the East Rail Line tracks will have a sidings for terminating trains south of the station, the South Island Line tracks end at bumper blocks north of the station with no overrun tracks. The South Island Line platforms opened on December 28, 2016, after a public open day on 24th. After a public open day on 24th of that month, giving residents in the Southern District quicker access to Hong Kong Island's Central Business District. The opening date was delayed from 2015 due to technical problems in the deep tunnels for the new platforms. The East Rail Line began serving Admiralty on 15th of May 2022, allowing commuters from the Northeast New Territories to travel directly to Admiralty. As the primary interchange point between the Tsuen Wan Line, the Island Line, the East Rail Line, and the South Island Line, Admiralty is heavily congested during rush hours. Yep, let's send the train out. Admiralty is heavily congested during rush hours. Even if you actually wait for go on rush hours and you head up there and wait for Tsuen Wan Line or Island Line, even though trains comes non-stop during rush hours, basically one train leaves and then another train comes in right away, you probably still need to wait for like 2 to 3 trains before you can actually board. So that's why, but with East Rail Line opened, the problems with Tsuen Wan Line changing towards Kowloon direction are slightly solved, slightly reduced due to this line also goes up to Kowloon. That basically covers the whole Admiralty Station. It is a very useful station inside the CBD, with many people using it every single day. Although it's very crowded, it is one of the most useful interchanges after East Rail Line opened. And of course, if you're going to Southern District, this is where you board the train as well. So that's why I'm going to overall give the station a 4.5 out of 5. Yes, because I really like this one. It's huge, massive, and very awesome looking. So that's why. Now, let's spot some trains.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. 请勿靠近幕门，请不要靠近幕门。Please stand back from the platform doors. 请先让车上的乘客下车。The train to TransWa is arriving. Please let passengers exit first. 請小心列車與月台間之空隙。請小心列車與月台之間的空隙。Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. 请勿靠近幕門，請不要靠近幕門。Please stand back from the platform doors. 前往坚尼地城的列车即将到达。Please mind the gap and be aware of the difference in levels between the platform and the train. 列车即将到达，请先让车上的乘客下车。The train to TransWa is arriving. Please let passengers exit first. 车上的乘客下车。The train to Kennedy Town is arriving. Please let passengers exit first. 請小心空隙及留意月台與車廂地面嘅高低。請小心空隙，並留意月台與車廂地面的高低。Please mind the gap and be aware of the difference in levels between the platform and the train. 请 车上请看卖餐。前往坚尼地城的列车即将到达，请先让车上的乘客下车。The train to Kennedy Town is arriving. Please let passengers exit first. 请小心空隙，及往車廂地面嘅高燈。請小心空隙，並留意月台與車廂之間的空隙。Please mind the gap. 请勿靠近幕門，請不要靠近木門。Please stand back from the platform doors. 请勿靠近幕門，請不要靠近木門。Please stand back from the platform doors. 台湾的列车即将到达，请先让车上的乘客下车。The train to Taiwan is arriving. Please let passengers exit first. 請小心列車與月台間之空隙。請小心列車與月台之間的空隙。Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. 请不要靠近木门。Please stand back from the platform doors. 请勿靠近幕門，請不要靠近木門。Please stand back from the platform doors. 请勿靠近幕門，請不要靠近木門。Please stand back from the platform doors. 请勿靠近幕門，請不要靠近木門。Please stand back from the platform doors. 請勿靠近幕門，請不要靠近木門。Please stand back from the platform doors. 半岛的列车即将到达。 train to Jiangshui is arriving. Doors.
列車即將開出出口，望多陣就跌。
Your attention please. This train terminates here. Please leave the train. Thank you for your cooperation. 乘客請注意，本班列車已到達終點站，所有乘客請離開車廂，多謝合作。乘客請注意，本班列車已經到達終點。
跟住上嗰架直接走。
如果覺得身體唔舒服，請答呢。Please don't think you will be unwell.